They called her the world's ugliest woman, and what she went through is fascinating. A doctor was recently browsing through greeting cards when he came across one that upset him greatly. The card made a joke about a dating game contestant who regretted his choice of ugly woman. But the card featured a real woman's picture. The doctor complained to the card manufacturer because, in fact, he knew who the woman was. And he knew how inappropriate it was to poke fun at her for her rare genetic abnormality over which she had no control. The doctor was extremely upset with the greeting card company and reached out to their human resources department immediately after. Not only did he call them because the joke was insensitive, but because he personally knew the woman whose photo they'd used. Mary Ann Bevan was born in London in 1874. As a young adult, she worked as a nurse in a hospital, and at 29, she married Thomas Bevan, with whom she had 4 children. When Thomas died in 1914, she began to show symptoms of her disease. Mary suffered from acromegaly, which meant her body produced excess growth hormones. At first, it was only noticeable in her extremities, which grew to disproportionate sizes. But eventually her body was affected, and she suffered from splitting migraines and muscle pain. Despite her obvious physical ailments, she was a single mother who worked hard to support her family, doing everything in her power to raise money to feed her children. Eventually, she chose to sacrifice her dignity for their sake. Shortly thereafter, Mary entered a Homeliest Woman contest for the prize money, and she did end up winning the competition. It was the beginning of something horrible, however, as from then on, she was known as the world's ugliest woman. She soon started a career as a circus attraction and widely toured the United Kingdom before eventually moving to the United States years later. Once in America, she worked for the Coney Island Dreamland Sideshow. She held this job at Coney Island up until her death in 1933. Though she was maligned in her own time, she has since become an inspirational figure for people suffering from acromegaly, for whom life is often still quite difficult. As modern medicine allows us to understand and treat such diseases, we must make an effort to treat their sufferers better than Mary Ann ever was. It's so unfortunate that people were less understanding of her ailment in their day. Yet Mary seemed to do things perfectly out of selflessness while she was alive. And perhaps, leading by example, she might possibly be proud that she's inspiring so many people with the same abnormalities as her to go out and lead normal lives.